Good morning, Cleveland County. Guess where we are? The Farmers Market, downtown Shelby. And I know you're being panned around so you can see all these wonderful products. I'm Deborah Blanton, host of Cleveland County Kitchen. And I'm here today with Heather Sloboda.
Hannah Sloboda.
Hannah, I'm sorry. Hannah Sloboda.
You got the last name
I did.
right, which is the hardest
I
one.
did.
So that's okay.
And she is representing the Catawba Mushroom
Partners.
I believe her husband's really involved. Of course, you're out here selling. I can't think of anything more involved than selling. But we're here, and they grow mushrooms. And of course, these mushrooms are, to me, one of a kind. These are really interesting, and they're all edible.
Yes.
Is that correct?
All edible. Yep. You can
Good,
eat all of them.
good. Well, later on in the show, we're going to be making mushroom soup from one of these, and we'll talk about that. So, Heather, can you Hannah, I'll get it. No, I won't. I might not.
That's all right.
So, Hannah, tell us about each of these different kinds of mushrooms.
All right. So, yep, these are mushrooms you definitely won't see in the grocery store. We have our lion's mane right here. That's a very popular mushroom right now. A lot of research is being done on it. It's really good for your brain. Also looks like your brain. It's a very mild, spongy mushroom. Kind of takes on the texture of whatever you're cooking it with. The chestnut mushrooms are a newer variety that we just started growing last year. They have a nutty flavor, kind of firm texture to them as well. The black pearls right here, those are a mix between, actually, these two mushrooms right here. You get this mushroom right here. So.
Oh, what, did you cross these
Yep.
two?
It's a cross. Yep. And
Well,
what you
that's
get those.
amazing. Yeah.
Very
Good.
mild flavor, spongy, firm texture to them. The Enokis, another new variety that they just started growing last year too. Again, very mild, a little bit of an earthy flavor. They have a bit of a crunch to them. They're very
Oh, do they?
almost kind of like I say, like a crunchy noodle. Good, they're not crunchy, but they have a very good bite to them. They're my favorite right now.
Now, by bite, do you mean spicy?
No, just like a good, like when you bite into it,
Oh,
you can
okay,
feel it. Like all
okay.
the other mushrooms are a little softer to texture. These ones are gonna have a
Alright.
little more of like a crunch to them.
All right.
Kind of. The blue oyster, those are one of I think 4 kinds of oysters that we grow. But we do the blue mainly. They're very popular in the restaurants. Very mild seafood flavor. That's where they get that name, oyster. So they have a little bit of a
do
seafood
they?
flavor.
Wow. Okay.
Very firm texture to them, kind of meaty. You'll see a lot of restaurants like to fry them, replace their meat. They'll do that with that, the oysters. And then right back here, I don't have a sign because this is brand new that they just started growing. They're called king trumpets. Very mild flavor, probably the closest that you'd see to like a white mushroom. The flavor is very mild, very firm texture to them. A lot of restaurants like them. They're very pretty the way they can score them and cut them for plating. So those are brand new for us. That's why I don't got a sign yet for them.
Yeah. Oh, well, good enough. I hadn't even noticed that you didn't have a
Yep.
sign.
Yeah.
So, shiitakes. Do you ever grow those as well?
We don't. We don't.
Oh,
I think
okay.
there's enough people out there that grow them.
that grow
we,
their own.
That do that, yeah, that we just do, just other farmers and everything grow shiitakes. So they've never done that before.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, audience, look up shiitake mushrooms. You can take one of these downed trees, drill holes in them, and you inoculate the holes, and you can grow your own mushrooms.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's
so-
classes out there that do that.
Right,
yeah.
right,
You can
right.
do that, yeah.
Well, now I see you have dried mushrooms here as well.
So to reduce waste, when we expanded the business, we were growing a lot of mushrooms, and we didn't always have people to take them yet. At this point, we do. So what we did is we dehydrated them and packaged them up. I have people that only cook with dried mushrooms, and so I've
Ah.
had people ask me, do you have dried mushrooms? So finally, we've got that packaging going. It took us a while just to get some packaging and some stickers. But yeah, I have some people that ask, do you have dried mushrooms? Because this way they last a few months.
Oh,
rather
exactly.
than a couple days, a few days in your
Exactly.
fridge.
If when you buy them like raw.
So we just started doing that.
And you have a big dehydrator, is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Big dehydrator. Yep.
Gosh.
We dehydrate our lion's mane. We don't really have to dehydrate any of these anymore because we're now selling them. We have grown our other business and expanded enough. But the lion's mane, we still do dehydrate that and make our tinctures with that.
Well, tell us about the tinctures.
The tinctures, we grow all the mushrooms ourselves. The lion's mane, we grow reishi. I don't have any reishi here because it's a very, it looks very pretty, but it's not very edible. It's it's almost like wood.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've never seen anyone eat reishi. So what we do is we grow all the mushrooms ourselves, we dehydrate all of them, and we do a dual extraction with water and alcohol to make our tinctures. So everything on this table is 100% producer made. We do everything ourselves here.
Well, that's wonderful, and that's what we in Cleveland County want to know and want to partake of and support people that are doing just natural things. How would you use a tincture?
The tinctures are ingested orally. They don't taste that great, so I put them in the morning, my tea or my juice that I'm drinking. Coffee, if you drink coffee, you can put it in there. Right now, what's really popular is that mushroom coffee. It's a big thing right now. So you could just make your own. You can brew your own coffee and just throw your tincture in there. You can just put it in your mouth. Like I said, it just doesn't taste that great.
But that's because there are medicinal purposes in mushrooms. Can you talk about that?
Sure. All mushrooms are immunomodulators, so they activate your immune system to help kick out and fight disease and infection, which is really good right now. I think that's why mushrooms become so more popular in the winter too. They're a good soup ingredient, and they're also just good for your immune system. The lion's mane specifically helps with your brain activity. It helps helps with memory and cognitive function. So that's what helps with that mainly. And then the reishi is really good for immune support and stress support. So,
Wow.
all medicinal, yeah.
Wow. You speak really well. You're a good spokesperson, and we appreciate letting us see all these wonderful mushrooms.
Thanks for coming out. I appreciate y'all coming here.
You're welcome. Stay tuned, folks, and we're going to hear from Nancy Abasiekong about why we need to eat mushrooms and how to preserve them. So stay tuned.
Cleveland Community College has identified strengthening online learning as the topic for its quality enhancement plan. We're calling it SOUL. SOUL's 5-year implementation plan is focused on continuous improvement of online courses and promoting student success. We're excited for you to take this journey with us.
Hi, I'm Nikki Bliss Carroll, your host for Cleveland Connections, the show that explores what's happening at Cleveland Community College. Join us as we sit down with members of faculty and staff to discuss programs of study, upcoming events, and other exciting campus news. We'll have a new show for you each month on C19 TV, or you can stream us online at c19.tv. Tune in and connect with Cleveland Community College on Cleveland Connections.
Nancy Abasiekong, good morning.
Good morning,
I know
Deborah.
you've been sick, and we're so glad you're out.
Thank you. I'm glad to be feeling better. All well.
Oh, good. You are the director of family.
And Consumer Sciences, and I'm the extension agent for Family and Consumer Sciences.
So
With-
you can tell us all about mushrooms, how to preserve them, and the nutritional value.
Yes, yes, and how to select them. Of course, Hannah also would talk about how to select what she has,
Right.
and so forth. But we'll talk about different varieties, and the fact that mushrooms, of course, are available year-round.
Yes, they
All
are.
year.
That's so important to
So-
remember.
Right, and I did, of course, at the grocery store. We're getting often the white or button mushrooms. Or
Okay.
Baby Bella, which they don't grow, these specialty mushrooms. But if you're at the grocery store, these are still some good choices.
Oh, sure.
The cremini, the Baby Bella, you mentioned shiitake
Right.
or portobello.
Right.
All of those in addition to these specialty mushrooms that are available to us here through the farmers market.
And they're all nutritious.
Very
so let's talk
nutritious.
about that.
And that's one of the things we've often talked about. When we're eating something, we want it to be nutrient dense, and mushrooms are in that category.
Oh, great.
They have
It
a
doesn't
lot to
take
offer.
much to give you a whole lot.
That's right, and mushrooms are one of the few items in the produce section that actually have vitamin D.
Oh,
And
really?
that's right, they're not a vegetable. They are in the fungi kingdom,
Right.
but we use them like a vegetable most of the time.
Yes. Sauteed and
That's
whatever.
right. Sauteed
Soups.
in our soups, in our stews, salads, and of course they can be eaten raw or cooked.
How versatile.
Very, very versatile. Now we're thinking about what other types of nutrients do we get
Correct.
from mushrooms.
Correct.
So we've said some of them have vitamin D, not all, but some.
Okay.
Then you would have vitamin C. Some would have vitamin C, and then antioxidants
Oh,
like
wow.
selenium, the B vitamins,
Right.
some copper, potassium, and
Okay.
of course we've talked about the importance of fiber before.
yes,
And fiber
yes.
is found in mushrooms.
Yes.
A little bit of protein, not as much, so we would not eat mushrooms usually as a replacement for the protein.
Right.
But you might add it in with something, or now if you're doing a portobello or something like that, or vegetarians, they might be replacing, but they would look to add some additional protein somewhere else in the diet.
Like beans or something.
Beans, that's right, beans or nuts or
Oh,
something
correct.
like that.
Yes.
So we're looking at that complete protein,
Right.
but still a very, very good source.
Oh, well, now tell us
Yeah.
how we can store these things.
That's right. When you're selecting mushrooms, whether you're here at the farmer's market, and of course here, talk to the vendor. You can talk to Hannah. You can ask her about any of the things that are here, but also look for firm mushrooms that are not blemished. And in the store as well, packaging. Sometimes we'll see some that have some brown or some spots that look like they're beginning to
Spoil.
to decay. That's right.
Right.
So don't select those.
Okay.
But when you get them home, whether they're the fresh ones or the ones in the packaging, of course, in the package you would leave it in the package until you're ready to use them.
Okay.
Don't wash any mushroom until you're ready, or clean it.
Right.
I'll say, until you're ready to use it. But you're going to store them just in a brown paper bag,
Okay.
and then just put it in the bag. It could be in the crisper or not. It could just be in the refrigerator, and then just turn down the top, and they will last about a week.
Okay. Well, that's
So
good to
that-
know.
And when you're purchasing, really only purchase about what you think you're going to use. But they can be dehydrated. And I'll have to, on our website, we will have a fact sheet.
And your website is Cooperative Extension's
That's right.
website.
It's our cooperative extension. and
Cleveland
we'll have-
County.
Right. It's Cleveland County, it's North Carolina Cooperative Extension,
Cleveland County.
Center.
Got it.
And we will have that information on the information here that runs with our programming.
Okay.
With our programming notes.
So make note of that.
Now, to clean mushrooms, some things you would soak and you would wet, not mushrooms. So you would some chefs think we need to just brush them off or take a damp paper towel or damp cloth and clean them that way. Mm-hmm. But you can clean them with water, but just cool running water, just quickly, and then put them on the paper towel and blot them dry.
You don't want them wet, in
Right.
other words.
You don't want them wet, and you don't want to ever soak them.
Right.
So, yes.
But these right here, I mean, they're clean from the get-go.
That's right. They are.
So, wow.
And
I mean, we have an advantage by buying local mushrooms.
That's right. And knowing where they're from and you can ask our farmer here any questions that you have or
Right.
anything that you want to know.
Right.
Now, of course, we will have some additional recipe information with our fact sheet that will be listed on the website as well.
Wealth of information, Nancy, as always. Cleveland County, thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We're going to make some mushroom soup.
Delicious.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Someone once said that without music, life would be a mistake. And that's how we feel here on Face the Music. Hi, I'm Summer Castle-Keever, and I'd love for you to join me each month on our new program, Face the Music, which airs on C19 TV and C19.tv. Each month we'll highlight the talents, personalities, and stories behind some of the area's most gifted singers, songwriters, and musicians. It's going to be a lot of fun, so join me each month for a new edition of Face the Music right here on C19.
She gets her hair from her mom, her eyes from her dad, and her drugs from her home medicine cabinet. Fact: more people die from drug overdoses than from car crashes or gun violence. And over 50% of those deaths are from prescription drugs. Prescription drug abuse is preventable. 1. Secure and take regular inventory of our medications. 2. Dispose of unused or expired medications. 3. Share this message with others. Be aware, don't share, lock your meds.
Welcome, Cleveland County, to Cleveland County Kitchen. My name is Deborah Blanton, and I am host of this show. And I am with Carol Gress today. Don't you love her glasses?
Thank you, Deborah.
Get relaxed, Carol.
Thank you.
She's never done this before, and she's kind of nervous, but you're just going to be fine, Carol. This is what kind of season? What would we eat in a winter season? Soup.
Soup.
We
yes.
are going to be having what? What's our recipe?
It is cream of mushroom soup.
Cream of mushroom soup. And we are highlighting the mushrooms down at the farmer's market, as you already know, and you've seen their spread. All right, Carol, we thought it would be appropriate for you to first of all see how we slice mushrooms. This is quite an involved recipe. The recipe itself will be out on the Cooperative Extension site. But Carol, can you talk about your experience at the farmer's market when you went up to Heather and saw all of her array of mushrooms?
She had 3 or 4, maybe 5 different kinds of mushrooms that all looked different that she recommended for mushroom soup. Now thinking back on it, I think I should have gotten some of each But this is a very delicious black pearl mushroom.
Pearl mushrooms. And can you kind of hold them up so the people can see them?
They're just lovely. Look at these sweet little mushrooms.
And as you already know, there's no dirt on these things, so we don't wash at all, correct?
No, you shouldn't wet your mushrooms.
Ever?
Well, not really. That's the end of them. You can't use them after that. I mean, you can use them, but you can't have them in the refrigerator after you've washed them.
Well, that's good information. All right, Carol, slice away. And we're going to be pinpointing where and how you do it.
All of the mushroom is valuable. You can use every bit of it. You don't have to cut the stems off or worry about only using the tops. The mushroom is fungi through and through. So I'm just cutting these a little bit so I can get them to saute up in the pan over here and be nice lumps in the soup so we can enjoy them later. And it is the basis for many thickened brown, white, or even darker sauces. So you'll find that term in your cookbook under ROUX.
X. Okay. X marks the spot, Carol.
Yep. And it is...
So how much butter have you put in here besides a stick? Is that
I put in a stick of butter, and I'm putting in a cup of flour. And I'm going to stir these together with great difficulty, and they're going to come out beautifully.
All right. Now, Carol, we have heated this up, and it's boiling. It's
yes.
bubbling.
It's bubbling.
Okay.
And we need to add milk just a little bit at a time.
And this is heavy cream. It's
yes,
not milk.
heavy cream. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
And it
because that's what
thickens.
Makes it luscious.
It thickens.
Okay, let's go. Can we go up and you stir? I want to touch the bottom, but I think it's hot. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
See, it gets bigger like that.
Oh, bigger? You mean the roux gets
yes.
bigger? Okay, there you
yes,
go.
Yes, it's kind of spongy, and it absorbs that cream and thickens the cream, which is very important to the process of making the sauce. And we stir the cream in a little bit as we go, so you see the roux is getting bigger.
All right, so Carol, I'm in charge of
Here's that stock. Beautiful roux, and we're adding the chicken stock to it
a little bit at
gradually.
A time. Okay.
So it absorbs it so that it ends up being delightfully thick and creamy.
And creamy.
Yes.
And I see it's bubbling right there.
Yes.
So it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. You can do more chicken stock now, please.
So I could say it takes two to tango here.
Yes.
Two to cook. You keep stirring and I'll keep pouring.
Okay.
And if you are recording, how many people does this serve?
Well, this will make, serve 4 to 6 people.
Okay. Well, that's good. All this work and you make 6 people happy.
Yes.
So this is boiling now, is that
No,
correct?
not yet.
No, but I mean, we're hoping it'll boil.
We added all the chicken stock and we're trying to bring it to a boil so that it'll thicken the soup.
And you know what? A watch pot never boils, so don't look at it. All right, one other thing too. Besides chicken broth stock, you can add any kind of stock. Like if you're dealing with vegetarians, which this looks like a vegetarian soup, just add veggie stock and not chicken. So it all works the same.
We have previously sauteed our mushrooms and our onions.
So we had green onions, correct?
Right,
And they
but you
chop-
can use any kind of onions and
Oh, that's
any
good.
kind of mushrooms.
Right,
Yes.
there is quite, as we've talked, there's quite a variety at the farmer's market.
Right, and they're able to tell you what they're good in, what to use, which mushrooms to use, what. They had like 4 or 5 different kinds of mushrooms that were really good for soups. This one is hearty and meaty, and it has a very delicate flavor.
Okay, let's, so can we get our spices ready? We're gonna do that right now.
It's best to add your spices at the end because they'll cook, the flavor will cook out of them. If you don't want to put them in when you're sauteing, because they you won't taste anything.
And you
from 'em.
deteriorate with the heat, is that correct?
Right, exactly.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people put their garlic in with their onions, but that makes the garlic flavorless.
Huh. Okay. Ooh, okay. This is a 2-person cooking
Yes,
thing.
because that will burn if it sticks to the
I
bottom.
can imagine. But there again, all of this is the spices is to taste.
Right, right.
Okay.
So if you don't have Gram Marsala, go ahead and use.
Just leave it right here. All right, now we have our Parm cheese out here. Can we explain about what you would do with that?
This is shaved Parmesan cheese. It is not the shaker kind in the green can. This is shaved. It's quite elegant, and you can get that at Ingles. And I just serve a bowl of this soup with the Parmesan on top of it.
Okay.
And it makes a really elegant meal.
So folks, this is what you're gonna do in the month of February with a wonderful hot cream of mushroom soup. Thank you, Carol.
Well, thank you, Deborah.
You're welcome.